How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the Detroit Lions franchise here on Madden 22. My name is Football Fan Forever, and it is finally time that I posted another game from this series. I've had a lot of interest in doing so. I have not had a lot of time to do so, so I apologize for the shorter posting speed. But where we pick up right now, the Lions are coming off just their second loss of the season last week against the Washington football team. A surprise upset there. But we still control our destiny in the race for the number 1 seed in the NFC. Our magic number is 3, and there are 3 games left to play. So any combination of 3 wins by the Lions or 3 losses by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers will clinch us a first round bye 1 year after going 1-16. I've said before how amazed I am at how well this rebuild has gone. Usually it takes a couple of seasons to have this kind of success. But right now we are 12-2 heading into a Week 16 matchup against the Atlanta Falcons. We are at home and favored to win as Atlanta is just 4-10. And Jack Fox will get us ready to go here. His opening kickoff sailing into the end zone where Amari Bullock, the rookie, will take that for a touchback to bring out the 37-year-old Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan has spent his entire career here in Atlanta. He's now one of the oldest quarterbacks in the league. And despite the fact that he's thrown for 3,700 yards this season, he's had to earn every one of those. His longest pass on the year is just 35 yards, and he's been sacked more than any quarterback in the league coming into this game. Atlanta's offense as a whole isn't all that good. Their rushing game ranks almost dead last in the league, which has put a lot of pressure on the 37-year-old Ryan to make up for the rushing game's shortcomings. But he's got Atlanta near midfield here, 2nd and 7, ball at the 49 against a 4-man rush. Ryan over the middle. There is Calvin Ridley inside Detroit territory to the 34 as Romeo Okwara is slow to get up. We'll get an injury update on our star left outside linebacker here in a couple of plays. One play later, it's 2nd and 10 from the 34. Play action for Ryan. And he will fire this one short for his tight end. And D'Angelo Carmichael is there for a gain of 1. As Okwara's injury is not feared to be serious, but he will be substituted out for a couple of series here, as Atlanta faces a 3rd and 9 from the edge of field goal range. Detroit shows pressure, but they'll back out of it. Ryan with all day to throw. There's Kyle Pitts inside the 10, inside the 5, and he's tackled down at the 2-yard line. It's a gain of 31 to make it 1st and goal Atlanta, just 2 yards out. And the Falcons will spread the field here on 1st and goal. Ryan calling his own number. He takes the hit, but he's in for the touchdown. The 37-year-old showing off the wheels as he plunges his way in from 2 yards out, and that fired up the visiting sideline. Matt Ryan on a quarterback draw takes a hit from Tracy Walker at about the 2.5-yard line and just extends the football over the plane for a 7-0 Atlanta lead. So that will bring out Bob Hairston, the rookie signal caller for the Lions. He threw for 271 yards and a score in last week's loss against the Washington football team, and he will start today's first drive from his own 23. DeAndre Swift alone back, and Hairston will head back to pass, and he's intercepted. Trey Boston patrolling the left sideline comes away with that one. It's a very short return to the 22, but Boston's 20th career interception will turn the Lions over just one play into their day, and Matt Ryan will retake the field 1st and 10 in the shotgun. Calling a receiver in motion, the handoff will go to Boston Scott. He's averaging just 2.5 yards a carry coming into today's game, but he's got 3 carries for 16 yards to start the day here, and one play later it's 2nd and 8 from the 10. Matt Ryan, time in the pocket, fires to a wide open Kyle Pitts down to the 3, 3rd and 1 Atlanta as Detroit's defense tries to get a stop here. And again, Ryan will throw to it, firing to the end zone. Touchdown, Calvin Ridley. So a disastrous start to the game for the Detroit Lions. They're going to have to rally from being down 2 touchdowns here as they start their second drive, and their second offensive play will pick up just 5 yards up the middle. And we know how good this Detroit ground game can be, but you're not likely to run on 3rd and 5, even against a front like this. As Harrison will head back to pass, firing for Hawkinson. He's nearly intercepted, but the ball is deflected and caught by Quan Sandridge for the first down. So a couple of terrible reads to open the day for Bob Hairston, but we get a lucky bounce. And the drive will continue as Jamal Williams tries a left side for a gain of 7. That will lead to a 3rd and 1. And DeAndre Swift will return into the game. Following his blockers, he tries the right side and has more than enough to move the sticks. And this is an important drive for the Lions. Not only do you want to see your team put points on the board, you'd like to see your young quarterback shake off his early mistakes as Hairston loads up for the deep ball looking for Kirk. Touchdown! And just like that, the Lions have answered. A 51-yard touchdown pass from Bob Hairston to Christian Kirk. And this is a matchup that the Lions had highlighted on this play. You've got Christian Kirk against the rookie cornerback Emmanuel Spriggs. And while there's not a lot of separation here, Kirk is able to get into good enough position that he's got a step on Spriggs, and that is enough for Hairston to put the ball right where only his guy can touch it. As Detroit carves Atlanta's lead in half and puts the ball back on the hands of Matt Ryan, who's throwing again. There's a broken tackle by Russell Gage, who picks up about 18 yards and the first down. 115 total yards by the Falcons in the first quarter. There's still over 2.5 minutes to go here as Detroit hasn't held the ball for very long, and Boston Scott continues his strong start on the day. There is a gain of 11. And a first down for Atlanta, who is very quickly into Detroit territory. Now 2nd and 6, one play later. Quick pass, Kyle Pitts again is wrapped up at the 31 as Ryan goes over 100 yards on 9 of 10 passing in the first quarter. And this is where you'd like to see Detroit's pass rush start showing up, but we've been unsuccessful rushing 4. But our run defense has improved a little bit. There's a nice stop by Trey Flowers for a loss of 1 to make it 3rd and 9. As now Detroit will try and get the stop here. Again showing double A gap pressure. This time they bring some blitzers. The ball is loose and it's picked up by Atlanta. And that was a golden scoop and score opportunity for Sean Francois, who couldn't corral the bouncing football. But it will force Atlanta into a much tougher field goal, a 56-yard attempt for Tristan Vizcaino. He's struggled this year, and he's now only 10 of 19 on field goals, as that one is both short and wide left. As Detroit has excellent field position, here's J.J. Dunlap falling ahead into Atlanta territory. It's a gain of 13 to close out the first quarter, as Detroit can get back in this one with the score here. 1st and 10 on the edge of field goal range. Hairston fires over the middle. There's Christian Kirk, as he may have had Hawkinson open deep down the field, but it will keep the drive moving here. 1st and 10 from the 28. 3 wide receivers on the right side of your screen. Hawkinson on the left side of the formation. DeAndre Swift in the backfield, play action. Hairston firing on the move for Hawkinson, and that is just out of the reach of his tight end there. 3rd and 5, one play later. Deshaun Stevenson in motion, swing pass to the rookie. Nice adjustment and a first down catch to the 14. Nice play there by Deshaun Stevenson. 1st and 10 inside the 15. Hairston off of play action. He's got time, fires to the end zone for Hawkinson, who can't hang on. Good double coverage there, and he still nearly came away with it. Second down. Deshaun Stevenson in the game, and he will redirect, cutting inside down to the 5. It's 3rd and 2, and that will bring out Jamal Williams and Jason Kabinda. This one is probably going to get run up the middle, and Williams converts again. He's down to the 1. So after going down 14-0, Detroit is just 1 yard away from tying this thing up. Williams still in the game. And he will get the call, and he will have the touchdown. Jamal Williams scored twice last week against the football team. He finds the end zone here as Detroit has rallied to tie the game with 7 minutes and 18 seconds to go in the first half. So we basically have a 0-0 game here as Matt Ryan starts from his own 25. He's under center. Boston Scott the lone back. And Ryan back to pass again. Time running out and down he goes. Romeo Okwara finds him at the 13 as the Lions get a coverage sack to make it 3rd and very long here. Ryan from the shotgun. Keep an eye on Kyle Pitts. He's probably the mismatch here. As Ryan has time to throw. Pressure getting there. Ryan gets it away and may have had the first down to Pitts if that pass had been on target. But instead, it's a 3 and out for the Falcons. And Detroit is looking at another short field. J.J. Dunlap from his own 42 breaks a tackle, crosses midfield, and ducks out of bounds at the 48-yard line. 1st and 10 Detroit. About 15 yards outside of field goal range here. And this time Atlanta will bring some extra rushers. Harrison buys time, fires it to Dexter Allen, who was maybe a broken tackle away from a much bigger play there. We like to see him get some yards after contact, but it's still a gain of 19. And that will put Detroit comfortably inside field goal range here. 2nd and 5. This time, there is no time for Bob Harrison as Dante Fowler wins the race to the quarterback. And it's 3rd and 12 from the 31. We're still inside Austin Seibert field goal range here. Just don't turn the ball over and don't get sacked as Harrison just gets this one away. He held on to the ball almost too long as Terrell Basham nearly came away with the sack. But instead it's a 48-yard field goal attempt for Austin Seibert. Left hash. David Blau. Hold is good. Kick is good. And Detroit has scored 17 unanswered points to take their first lead of the day with 4.5 minutes to go here in the first half. And now Boston Scott will get the call on 1st down. He started strong, but now he's averaging just 3.6 yards per carry on 10 carries. As he will get the call on 3rd and 2, picking up 4 and not much more than that. As Calvin Ridley will get checked out on the sideline. He is their top receiving threat outside of Kyle Pitts. We'll see how his injury affects this Atlanta passing game. And they will continue to throw for it. There's a pass underneath to the tight end to cross the Falcons into Detroit territory here. 2-minute warning approaching, just 2.5 minutes to go as Ryan, with all day to throw, runs out of time. Lucas Parra with the sack to make it 3rd and 21. And Matt Ryan definitely had guys open down the field there. Maybe he just didn't see them. As Ryan, facing pressure again, just checks it short to Kyle Pitts. And that will get the Lions the ball for a 2-minute drill here in Detroit. Starting this drive on their own 16-yard line, all 3 timeouts. Just 4 seconds left on the play clock as Harrison takes a deep shot for Christian Kirk, and that's outside of the reach of everybody, leading to a very quick 3rd and 10. 2 deep safeties for the Falcons. They bring 4. Harrison on target to Hawkinson, but he is short of the marker. And Atlanta will call their first timeout to get the ball back here. Not the drive you wanted if you are the Lions, as now you're going to trust that Jack Fox can flip the field. And Fox will step into this one. Amari Bullock to return from his own 34, rolling through a tackle and stumbling ahead to the 41. A very good return there for the rookie, and it gives the Falcons good field position here as they look to tie the game before halftime or maybe even take the lead. But can Matt Ryan get a break? No, he cannot, as Trey Flowers sacks him there. That's another coverage sack for the Lions. Going no huddle is Atlanta. Russell Gage will get some yards after the catch. But now the Falcons will call their second timeout with a minute to go here in the first half. Empty backfield for Matt Ryan. Detroit brings the blitz short pass to Kyle Pitts, who will pick up the first down. The clock will continue to run. The Falcons hurry back to the line. Detroit trying to get set. And Matt Ryan will have all the time he needs to find Russell Gage inside the 40 to the 36. Clock around 30 seconds here as Detroit will call their first timeout to try and get the correct defensive alignment there. They were scrambling on defense, trying to get the home crowd back into this one as everybody goes deep. Ryan finally runs out of time. It's another sack for Romeo Okwara, and now the Lions will spend their second timeout, again trying to make sure that everyone is rested on this defense and they can make a play here on 3rd and 25. Corners backing off, quick pass there to Calvin Ridley, and now Atlanta will take their third and final timeout with 4 seconds to go to set up a 55-yard field goal for Vizcano, who missed from 56 earlier. And this will just clear the upright to tie the game at 17. So a back and forth first half will lead to a tie ball game here heading into halftime. Detroit, coming back from a 2-score deficit, scores 17 unanswered points, and Atlanta overcomes a couple of big sacks to get a long field goal as time expires. And of course, we're going to want to keep an eye on the Buccaneers-Packers game. Maybe one of the few weeks we're actually rooting for Green Bay. They are all tied up heading into halftime as well, as the Vikings, probably out of playoff contention at this point, put up 40 on the Miami Dolphins. Back in Detroit, both teams looking for the edge they need to come out on top in this one. For the Lions, if they want to slow down Atlanta's passing attack, they will need quicker pressure. We saw a successful blitz on 3rd down in the first half, so maybe the Lions blitz a little bit more often in passing downs, while the Falcons will need to contain Detroit's rushing attack and force Bob Harrison to throw the ball. He completed just half of his passes in the first half, and that included a first pass interception that allowed Atlanta to go up big. If they can pressure the young quarterback into mistakes, they have a chance of pulling off the upset here. As Harrison will head to the air on 1st down, running out of time as Dante Fowler beats Penei Sewell for his 2nd sack of the day. That will make it 3rd and 18. That's the start you want if you are Atlanta. You know Bob Harrison is going to throw the ball. You can play your corners off a little bit, maybe bring some extra pressure. As Harrison on 3rd and 18 will find Quintez Cephas to the 31, but he's short of the sticks by about 3 yards. Trey Boston making the stop. And that will bring the ball back to the Atlanta Falcons offense. You see there, Boston Scott averaging just 3.5 yards per carry. And he will not get the call on 1st down. Everybody going deep for Ryan, who is nearly intercepted by Will Harris. Already 21 pass attempts for Matt Ryan. They are clearly hesitant to trust their running game. Even on 3rd and 2, they're going to throw for it, and Ryan will have the 1st down. Great catch there right in front of Alex Anzalone by Calvin Ridley, who is back in the game. And that will keep the drive alive for the Falcons. 1st and 10 from their own 44. Ryan to pass again. Dancing around in the pocket and again nearly intercepted. Matt Ryan's passes clearly don't have the zip that they used to on them. He faces a 3rd and 10. Two deep safeties for the Lions. Ryan, quick throw, and that was nowhere near Kyle Pitts, as Detroit gets the third down stop there to put the ball back in the hands of Bob Hairston. 8 of 15 for $116, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He will start from his own 16-yard line. DeAndre Swift with the call, cutting his way upfield to the 28. Just his 6th carry today, but he's got 38 yards on those touches, and it's 1st and 10 Detroit from their own 28. Swift still in the game. Good blocking. Quintez Cephas gives him some help downfield. DeAndre Swift in a foot race, and he flips the field there. From his own 28 to Atlanta's 36. It's a 36-yard gain for DeAndre Swift. Now 2nd and 6, 1 play later. Hairston off of play action, fires this one into traffic, and it's nearly intercepted a couple of times. Dante Fowler applying the pressure as Penei Sewell has struggled on play action plays here today. That will make it 3rd and 6. Harrison firing for Hawkinson, and that is incomplete. Nice play there made by Jalen Hawkins, and that will bring out Austin Seibert for a 50-yard attempt, and the kick is good. So the Lions once again have a 3-point lead. I'm guessing we'll see Ryan throw the ball a lot more before this one is over. 5 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter, 1st and 10. Pump fake. Ryan with all day. He will fire underneath for Boston Scott, who breaks a tackle and is taken down at the 37 after a gain of 12. Now 3 tight ends on the field, and again Ryan will pass for it. Firing short there is Kyle Pitts, and it's back-to-back first downs for the Falcons. Already 27 pass attempts for Ryan, who still has 4 minutes of the 3rd and all of the 4th to add to that total, as they will head to the ground on 2nd and 8. Boston Scott is wrapped up by Devin Woodson for a short gain, and it's 3rd and 7. Ryan in the shotgun, Kyle Pitts slot left. Ryan with time fires to the right sideline. He's picked off. Ifeatu Melifonwu has another one, and he returns it to the Atlanta 36-yard line. How good has he been for the Lions this year? He did not begin the year as a starter, but it's plays like these, taking away the deep out route that probably would have been a completion a couple of years ago for Matt Ryan, but instead it hangs just long enough for Ifeatu Melifonwu to pick it off and give Detroit excellent field position here on the edge of field goal range. Bob Hairston on the move, and he will slide down after picking up the first. We don't often see him take to the ground like that, but it will move the chains and the drive will continue here. Now 2nd and 13, 1 play later, I formation, play action. Hairston rolling out again, firing downfield, and Kirk has it at the 5. Goal to go Detroit as they look to go up 2 scores on the Falcons. 1st and goal, Kirk and Cephas in the game, along with the fullback Jason Kabinda. Jamal Williams will try the left side. Williams is met at the 1. And I think that's one of the few times he's going to lose one-on-one with a defender. That was an excellent open field tackle to save a touchdown. 2nd and goal, Hairston to the end zone, and Cephas can't hang on. Excellent coverage there by Richie Grant, and it's 3rd and goal. Same formation for the Lions. Cephas isolated left. Hairston will try again. Cephas will hang on, but there is a flag. Plenty of contact between Cephas and the backup strong safety Johnny Smith. And the call is defensive pass interference. So this will be declined by the Lions. They go up 27-17 pending the extra point. Let's take another look at this as Cephas doesn't really get too much separation here. Smith does turn his head, but there's more than a little bit of contact there, and it's amazing that Cephas was able to hang on through the contact and get both feet in bounds. So it's a 10-point lead for Detroit with just over a minute to go in the 3rd quarter. And Atlanta will need to rally from down 2 scores here, and they will start in the air once again. Matt Ryan looking for Kyle Pitts, and he will have the first, as Atlanta's offense has mostly been through the air here today. Now 2nd and 4, they will hand off to Boston Scott, and that will go nowhere. Maybe even a loss of 1, as Romeo Okwara makes the stop in the backfield. And that will bring us to the 4th quarter with the Lions on top 27-17, looking to close this one out after being down 14-0 to start the game. Now on 3rd and 5, Ryan under pressure will just find his man in bounds. The pass getting out at the last moment there, but the drive will continue, and Atlanta is very quickly into Detroit territory here. 2nd and 2, quick throw over the middle. Pitts breaking another tackle before he's taken down at the 36 as Ryan approaches 250 yards through the air. And you see the play breakdown there. 34 passes now against just 17 runs. Call it 35 as Ryan converts another there. 1st and 10, Atlanta inside the red zone. A score here will make it a 1-score game. Detroit would love to get another turnover here as Ryan once again has all day to throw. He's got guys open, but he's holding on to the ball, and down he goes back at the 32. It's Romeo Okwara dropping Matt Ryan for a loss of 13, and that will lead to a 3rd and 23. Corners once again playing off. Ryan audibles at the line of scrimmage against a 2-deep safety look, and he will face a 5-man rush, dumping it off to Boston Scott, who will have some yards after the catch, but will be taken down well shy of the marker. And Atlanta will settle for a field goal to make it 27-20. So here exists the opportunity for the Lions to put this one away. On 2nd and 12, they'll trust Keegan Darby with an 8-yard keeper, and it's 3rd and 4. Trying to add to their lead here and also drain some clock. Hairston back to pass. Fires short for Sandridge, who got 4 yards, but not enough to move the sticks, and it's a very quick 3-and-out for the Lions. Probably wouldn't have been a good idea to go for it deep in their own territory there, so they're going to force the Falcons to go 83 yards if they want to tie this game, and very quickly there's a strike to Calvin Ridley to pick up the 1st down. One play later, it's 2nd and 2, and they will put the ball on the ground, running to the left side, and there is a 1st down for Salvin Ahmed. Detroit with 1 takeaway already here today. You know they would like another to seal this game. 1st and 10, Atlanta from their own 39. Ryan back to pass. And he has a man wide open down the middle. Russell Gage inside the 15, down to the 12 before he's tackled by James Winter. And that's the big play Atlanta has been missing all season. And it gives them 1st and 10 at the 12. 3 minutes 44 seconds to go. Motioning in the wide receiver Cooks. Salvin Ahmed in the game. He redirects to the left side before he's tackled by James Winter after a gain of 2. And our run defense has been very good here today, allowing less than 60 yards on the ground. But it's the pass defense that's going to have to make plays here. 2nd and 8. Ryan under pressure, and there is Devin Woodson back at the 20 for his 15th sack this season. And the 7th time we've dropped Matt Ryan here today. It puts them in another 3rd and very long. This time 3rd and 18. Ryan well protected, checks it short for Gage. That will pick up just 2. As Atlanta will send out the field goal unit here with 2.5 minutes to go. They're trusting in their defense to get the ball back for them one more time, as the kick is good to make it 27-23. So the Lions need a couple of 1st downs to close this one out as we reach the 2-minute warning here. And if you're Atlanta, you are selling out to stop this running attack. You want to make Bob Hairston throw the ball because he's not been very good here today. And on 2nd and 7, there's a nice play. Good stop by the Falcons to make it 3rd and 5. As a first down will essentially end this game, but it is a likely passing situation for the Lions. 3 wide receivers on the field. Harrison fires short for Hawkinson, and that will move the sticks. And Atlanta takes their 3rd and final timeout. And Detroit is just a first down away from ending this one. Going play action! And Harrison lucky to hold on to that one, as he will be sacked for a loss of 11. So the aggressive play call does not work out, as now Detroit needs a 3rd and 12 conversion if they want to close out the game, and they will keep the ball on the ground. DeAndre Swift holds on through the strip attempt, as the Lions will run the clock down as much as they can before punting this one away. Jack Fox, from his own 22-yard line, steps into this one. Amari Bullock back to return from his own 15. He will be tackled at the 20. Great coverage there. And Atlanta has just 17 seconds to go the length of the field here. They are in a Hail Mary formation, and indeed, everyone is going deep. Ryan trying to get as much life underneath this pass as he can, and that is incomplete. Let's try again here. Still 10 seconds on the clock, as we probably have time for 2 more Hail Mary attempts. Ryan against a 3-man rush once again gets this one away, and that is defended. 3 seconds to go. This for the game. Corners playing off once again. Pass attempt number 44 for Ryan is in the air, tipped, and incomplete, as the Lions hold on for victory number 13 for the season over the Atlanta Falcons. And this came on a day when our passing offense was not very good. Just 124 total passing yards thanks to a couple of big sacks that Bob Harrison took. He also threw an interception and generally didn't look very confident out there. But he did throw 2 touchdown passes, including a 51-yard bomb to Christian Kirk. That was a really nice way to bounce back from that opening drive interception. As we weather 352 passing yards from Matt Ryan, who throws the ball 44 times in this one, completes 72% of his passes, but only finds the end zone once. He had to carry the offensive load for the Falcons here today, as Boston Scott was pretty ineffective. He had 33 of his 53 yards after contact and generally did not continue a strong start for the Falcons, who rushed for only 59 yards as a team today. As a whole, Atlanta's offensive line really struggled. I'd pin a lot of their sacks on Matt Ryan holding the ball too long, but their inability to open up consistent rushing lanes for their ground attack meant that Ryan did have to throw the ball quite often. As for our passing attack, well, we started off the day with an interception and never really got into a rhythm. We see here that Christian Kirk led our team with just 3 catches for 79 yards, and the next highest receiver in yardage total was Dexter Allen, who had just 1 reception for 19 yards. We did only throw the ball 23 times in this one, so it was a pretty conservative game as far as our play calling was concerned. So we once again had to be bailed out by our rushing attack and our defense. But if we take a look back at this season, that should come as no surprise. That's been a winning formula for us all season long, and even though we give up a lot of yards both through the air and on the ground, we are above average in terms of scoring defense, as we end this game ranked 13th in the league in scoring defense. We saw flashes of that today when we got a couple of big sacks at critical points in Atlanta's drive, where both our pass defense and our pass rush stepped up at pivotal moments. Atlanta had 4 or 5 third and very long plays today, and that's because our pass rush was able to get home and sack Matt Ryan 7 times. Romeo Okwara led the way with 3 sacks. D'Angelo Carmichael had a sack and forced a fumble that we were unfortunately unable to recover. Lucas Parra had a sack, Devin Woodson got another one, and Trey Flowers even got a sack. Most of those sacks were just Matt Ryan holding on to the ball for too long, but a couple of them were legitimate coverage sacks, and of course, D'Angelo Carmichael's was a really well-designed blitz. I haven't blitzed much this season, and I don't know if that will change. Teams seem to be able to sniff those out pretty well, so it will probably be a rare occurrence that we rush more than 4 or maybe 5. But at the same time, it's kind of nice to be able to experiment with different ways of bringing pressure, because right now, outside of Romeo Okwara and Devin Woodson, we're not getting a lot of consistent pass rush. Things worked out okay for us today because Matt Ryan did hold on to the ball a little bit too long and never really threw it away like you think a veteran quarterback might. But it's not going to cut it against better teams, and we really probably should have beaten the Falcons by more than 4 points. That being said, we shouldn't overlook the fact that this team rallied from being down 14-0 very early in this one to come away with a 27-23 victory. That shows the kind of resilience that we've been seeing pop up all season long, and it bodes well for winning tougher games down the road. Our playoff picture is starting to become clearer. We'd clinched at the very least a wildcard berth coming into this game, but our victory today gives us the NFC North crown and puts us one step closer to locking up the number 1 seed. The Buccaneers lost this week to bring their record to 11-4, meaning that our magic number, with 2 weeks left to play, is just 1. So despite the fact that we have a difficult end to this season here, with dates against the Buffalo Bills and the 10-5 Green Bay Packers, we still very much control our own destiny here over the last couple of weeks of this season. We'll also keep an eye on Green Bay, who is the current number 7 seed in the NFC, to see if they can lock up a playoff berth here with a couple of games remaining. Like us, they also control their own destiny, so we'll see if they can close out the season and join us in the playoffs. For Week 17, our attention turns to the Buffalo Bills. They have one of the best quarterback-wide receiver tandems in the league between Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs. They've got plenty of talents at every area of their roster, but it just hasn't translated to wins for them this season. They are firmly outside of the playoffs and sitting at just 5-10 on the year. A surprising result given the amount of talent they have on their roster. So record notwithstanding, I expect a very competitive game next week as we try to clinch the first round bye in the NFC. So thank you all so much for watching. I hope to have the next video out sooner rather than later. Take care, and like always, I'll catch you next time.